Hey, my name's Steve. This is going to be the first video that I'm making for my cooking show here. We're going to be cooking a crawfish boil today. Now, I live in California, so I can't get fresh crawfish, but we're going to work with it. We're going to show you how to make a small batch of crawfish using Louisiana ingredients here in California. Let's go do this. Okay, now, here's our ingredients. This is what we're going to be using in this crawfish boil today, all right? We got 2 lemons, 2 small oranges. We got some garlic powder. We got some Zatarain's crab and shrimp boil. Got some cayenne pepper. Got some Slap Yo Mama, right, by Walker & Sons. Never tried this stuff before, but it smelled amazing, so I'm going with it. All right, got some black pepper here, some salt here, some butter, some bay leaves. And then for our vegetables, we got some celery, 2 sweet onions, some mushrooms here, got some red potatoes cut in half, and some corn on the cob. For our protein, we're going with some andouille sausage. I probably butchered the name of that sausage, but bottom line, it's some Cajun sausage that is really, really good, really flavorful. We got some shrimp, and we got some Louisiana crawfish. Now, this stuff's already pre-cooked and frozen, which, unfortunately, I have no choice. I would have preferred to get some live crawfish and some raw shrimp, but can't get that in Southern California at Walmart. So this is what we got here. But it is Louisiana crawfish, so I'm happy with that idea. All right, so here we go. We're going to get back to you in a second here, and we'll show you how to start seasoning stuff up. All right, so what you want to do is fill your pot just about halfway, probably a little bit past halfway. Then you're going to want to start taking your seasonings and getting started here. We're going to start off with this Slap Yo Mama. And because it's a pretty decent sized pot, I'm going to put a decent bit of seasoning in there. Now you're going to want to season this to your preference, okay? But I'm going for a little bit spicy. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to put in a good bit of this stuff right into the water there. And we'll taste as we go. That's the idea here. You taste as you go till you get it just right. But this is a good bit of water, so we want to be generous with our seasoning, okay? I'm going to put in some of that Slap Your Mama. We're going to grab some of this shrimp and crab boil here. And I'm going to use just a little less than half of this. About that much will do you. Should be good. Then we're going to go for that cayenne pepper. Get some of that red pepper in there. A little bit of heat in there. Like that heat in there. Garlic powder. Again, use your own discretion when it comes to the seasonings. Keep tasting it. Make sure that you have what you want in there. Put a good bit of garlic in there. Some salt up in there. Get that salt going. I'm going to put some black pepper. You can already smell that. It smells so fucking good coming out of there. I am ready to eat already. I'm already getting hungry.
Just a little.
Alright, then we got some bay leaves. This seems like a bit too much when it comes to the bay leaves for my taste, so I'm only going to use a little bit of this. A nice size pinch of bay leaves. Get that in there.
Damn it, I'm sorry.
Bless you, honey. Alright, but yeah, we got the bay leaves in there now. And we want our butter, and I like me some country crock butter. Believe me, thank you, honey. It's so great. All right, but yeah, country crock butter. I'm not like sponsored. All right, they're not sponsoring anything, but I'm a big fan of country crock butter. So we're gonna take a nice big scoop of this, big old scoop of butter. Put that butter in there. Try not to splash yourself like I just did. That's not very smart. Let all that cook for a little second here, and then we'll taste that. Once we have that where we want it, we'll add in our potatoes. And we'll let those potatoes cook for, I don't know, I say probably about 10 minutes longer than everything else, because everything else is going to cook faster than those potatoes are. Well, like I said, in a way, I'm cutting some corners here. I don't have the live crawfish. I wish I did. It's unfortunate, but hey, crawfish is still good either way. especially when you can get it from Louisiana. Louisiana's got some bomb crawfish. All right. So yeah, let's see here. Let's get a little taste here. Oh yeah, that's got some really nice flavor to it there. So we're gonna go ahead and drop in our potatoes. Might need a little more salt in there. There goes our potatoes. And we're gonna let that boil for a while. And we'll be back to you in about 10 minutes here. I almost forgot to film me putting in the lemon and oranges. Okay, so you're going to want to put the lemon and oranges in with the potatoes so that all those juices get sucked into your pot. But I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So we'll come back in a couple minutes. Alright, so I got my lemons and my oranges inside there now. And yeah, you know, just disclaimer off camera, I added in a little more salt, a little more butter, just to get it flavored the way I want it. Now the potatoes have been cooking for a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add in our onions. I'm just using sweet onions because I like the flavor of sweet onions, so they're going in. I cut them in half and drop them in half. Those will start to separate all by themselves, and they'll fall apart after 2 or 3 minutes. There'll be a nice hunks in there, nice edible hunks. This is going to be delicious. All right, we'll be back in a little while. Yeah, so as I'm sitting here cooking, I just felt like I should say that, you know, for the most part, you don't really want to be doing these boils inside the house, but I'm only making a small batch, just enough to, you know, feed the family, get a nice little crawfish treat, because, man, they are good. There's nothing you can do about that. They're just good. But, yeah, so, you know, you want to cut your fruits in half as well to get that citrus in there. You want all that juice to come out of there. So, you know, what I did is I cut the oranges and lemons in half, gave them a good squeeze, let all that flavor get into that water there. You know, you want all that flavor in your boil. You want everything to taste real good, real spicy, you know. Yeah, that's what you want. You gotta go for that flavor. And you put that heat on as high as you can if you're cooking on the stove like I am, because you need a good boil to get all that flavor to go into those vegetables. A couple minutes here, we'll be adding in the rest of our stuff. I've already cut up my sausage into like little bite-sized hunks, as you can see here. All right. Cut the celery down. Leave the mushrooms whole. Mushrooms can stay whole. That's just fine. And you know, I just got some frozen corn on the cob. They didn't have any fresh corn on the cob, so that's going in. Just the way it is, and that's how we're gonna do it. Quick, cheap, and dirty crawfish boil. Just get it done. All right. So we've got our potatoes. They've been cooking for probably about 10, maybe 12 minutes now. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding in our other ingredients. So we're going to put in our sausage and our celery. It's going to go right into the pot. Boom, right in there. Then we're going to start dropping in our corn. Might have to force some of this in there a little bit. Oh. All that good stuff in there. I think it's time to invest in a bigger pot. It's all right. We're going to get it all in there. pot and start cooking the stuff in that as well, just to make sure that I had room. All I did was transfer over a bunch of the juices into this pot, along with a little bit of everything into this pot. So when it's all said and done, all that's going back in the big pot, and we're putting the crawfish right back in here. So that's how we're going to do this. This is what happens when you're cooking without the stuff that you need, you know? It happens. This is what happens when you're cooking at home. We're cooking at home right now. So, alright, we'll be back in a little while when I'm adding in our protein. Well, the rest of our protein, the sausage is already in there. But, yeah, when we're going to the seafood side of things, I will bring back the camera for you. Alright. Okay, so while I was getting everything ready, I noticed a crawfish with a straight tail. Okay, you do not want to eat crawfish with a straight tail. Okay, as you can see this one here, how that tail's curled up like that there, right? That means that this crawfish was alive when it was cooked. This one with the straight tail means this thing was already dead when it was thrown into the pot. So you don't want to eat that. You want to get rid of that. So make sure you look through your crawfish. Anything that's got a straight tail, throw that away. You do not want that in your pot. You do not want to eat that at all. Or you can use it as bait. Going to go fishing? There's some fish bait for you right there. Alright. So, now that the vegetables are done, I've taken those out and set them aside. Make sure I got room in the pot. Now, if you bring that over here for me. Now, I've left in the onions, I've left in the lemon and the oranges and some of the celery, just because I want that flavor inside the pot. Now, I got my crawfish ready, and we're going to start hooking these in. I really wish I could have got some live ones. Would have been so much better, but I want some crawfish, and this was the best I could do. So this is what we're going to do. Those go right into the pot. And now, because these are already pre-cooked, we don't want to cook them too long. So I'm only going to leave them in here for probably 2 or 3 minutes, just until I know that they're nice and hot. And then I'm going to toss in my shrimp. And that should have some really good flavor. If anybody does happen to see this video that is from Louisiana, let me know how I did on my seasonings. You know, I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of winging it from what I think it should taste like, and you know, hopefully I did this pretty close to right, all except for the pre-cooked crawfish and pre-cooked shrimp. But believe me, if I had a choice, I would have went with fresh, you know, live crawfish. But hey, you do what you gotta do. Alright, now we got our shrimp in there, got our crawfish in there, everything's just about done now. Just going to let that cook for a couple more minutes just to make sure everything's good and hot. Basically, I'll just bring that back to a proper boil and then just turn it off, just to make sure that my shrimp and crawfish aren't completely overcooked. And we'll get back for a little taste test and show you the final product. Alright, so I don't know if this is appropriate when you're using pre-cooked crawfish or not, but what I've done to simulate the cooling process is I just filled my sink with cold water and I stuck the pot in, and I'm simply just turning it and mixing it around so that it cools down the crawfish, because when you use live crawfish, this sucks the juices in. And I'm not sure if this is going to work the same with pre-cooked stuff or not, but I'm doing it anyway to try to make sure that I get as much flavor as possible. Alright, and there's the final product. Got our corn, our shrimp, got our mushrooms, celery, potatoes, and of course the delicious crawfish. I mean, those look good to me. That looks like some good eating right there. And you can see how much food this is. We've already started plating some stuff for the kids. And yeah, it's a good bit of food. This is not, you know, it's a small batch, but it's a good bit of food. And for the stuff that I bought here, it was right around 25 bucks, which is not bad for an entire meal for your family. This is pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna finish getting the kids set up to eat, and then we're gonna do a little taste test, see how it tastes.
Take a bite of your crawfish. Is that good?
You like your crawfish? How is it? Is it good? Yeah, you like
it, baby?
What about you? You like it?
Is it good, Mason?
Do you want another one?
Well, eat your sausage first.
Yeah, try your sausage. Is the sausage good?
Yeah, the sausage.
This
Yep.
sausage?
Is your mushroom good, Mason?
Yeah.
Eat the mushroom.
Alright, just to show you the proper way to eat a crawfish, right? You want to grab it here, give the head a little pinch, twist that tail off, and suck that juice out of that head.
A juice on the head?
So good. Then you just crack open the tail, kind of like you would be peeling shrimp or anything else, and pull that meat up out of there, and you get that nice, beautiful hunk of meat. Yeah, it's good.
Mom, Daddy.
Definitely good. I think we did good.
Dad, you
Yeah.
juice me. Juice on the head?
Yes, there's juice in the head. It's
It's
good, right?
I don't I want more.
You want more? Okay, we'll get you more. Alright, so we're going to eat. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you try out the dish, and I hope you guys enjoy some Louisiana crawfish just like we are.